Did you know that sometimes the smallest spark can change the entire course of history? Imagine this. You're walking alone through a land that seems to have completely forgotten its heart, its soul. This is the world of Elijah, a prophet of God. The people around him, they're chasing after idols, worshipping a false god named Baal, and completely ignoring the voice of the one true, living God. As a result, a deep silence has fallen over the land. The rain has stopped. The rivers are nothing but dusty cracks in the earth. Crops have withered and died. The famine has stolen not just food, but laughter and hope itself. And in the middle of all this desolation is Elijah. He's exhausted, he's hungry, and deep down, he's afraid. He feels utterly alone in his mission. And yet, in that crushing silence, God speaks. But not in the way you might expect. There's no booming thunder, no clash of armies, no spectacular display of power. It begins quietly, a whisper, a voice so soft it could easily be mistaken for the wind rustling through the dry leaves. Elijah, why are you here? He trembles. He thinks, am I just imagining this? Is the loneliness finally getting to me? But no, it's real. The God of the entire universe, the same God who split seas and brought fire down from heaven, is now speaking to him with a gentle question, not a demand. He isn't commanding, he's inviting. Elijah, feeling the weight of his fear and failure, tries to hide. He's ashamed. But God is patient. He knows the heart of his servant, and then a moment of quiet magic unfolds. Not the flashy magic of a stage show, but the intimate magic of the divine. Tiny ravens, birds often seen as unclean, become messengers of grace. Morning and evening, they fly to him, bringing bread and meat. A small brook, a trickle of life in a parched land, provides him with water. Every step Elijah takes is sustained by hands he cannot see. Every breath he draws is a quiet miracle. God is providing for him in ways the world would never notice, in ways that defy logic, but they are no less real. It's a lesson in trust, a reminder that God's provision doesn't always come in a flood, but sometimes in a trickle. Then, the time for hiding is over. The confrontation is set for Mount Carmel. On one side, hundreds of prophets of Bibl gather. They are a spectacle of noise and frenzy, shouting, mocking, dancing, and gashing themselves in a desperate attempt to summon their God. They are performance and chaos. On the other side stands Elijah. Alone he gathers the people, the wavering, uncertain crowd. And he doesn't scream, he doesn't perform tricks, he doesn't rely on theatrics. He simply repairs the broken altar of the Lord, a symbol of restoring what was lost. Then he kneels, and he prays. It's a simple, direct, and powerful prayer. He asks God to show the people who he truly is. And then fire falls. Not from a storm cloud, not from some hidden trick with smoke and mirrors. It falls from a clear sky, from heaven itself. It doesn't just burn the sacrifice. It consumes the wood, the stones of the altar, the dust, and even the water that Elijah had ordered to be poured all over it. Everything is gone, licked up by this divine flame. The crowd gasps, a wave of awe washes over them, replacing their doubt and fear. In that single breathtaking moment, hearts turn, but even the most hardened skeptics fall on their faces, crying out, "The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God." The quiet prophet, through his unwavering faith, has brought about a spectacular revelation of God's power. But the story doesn't end on that mountaintop high. You'd think after a victory like that, Elijah would be invincible. But human nature is fragile. The wicked Queen Jezebel, a fervent worshipper of Baal, hears what happened and is enraged. She sends a message to Elijah, threatening his life. And just like that, the man who called down fire from heaven is running for his life. Fear grips him once again. He flees into the wilderness, exhausted and despairing. He retreats to a cave, a dark and lonely place, and he hits rock bottom. He's so overwhelmed that he actually prays for death. He tells God, "I've had enough. Take my life." He feels like a complete failure. And once again, in this moment of deepest darkness, God comes to him. But how? Not in the fire like on Mount Carmel, not in a mighty earthquake that shakes the foundations of the mountain, not even in a powerful wind that shatters the rocks. God passes by in all these dramatic displays, but He is not in them. After all the noise, after the wind, the earthquake, and the fire, there comes a sound. A gentle whisper, a still small voice. And in that profound quiet, Elijah knows God is here. Sometimes divine power doesn't come with the noise and glory we expect. It doesn't always shout for our attention. Sometimes it comes quietly, patiently asking us to be still enough to notice it, to trust it, and to follow it, even when everything inside us is screaming and everything around us seems lost. Through this journey, Elijah learns one of the most profound truths of faith. God's strength is often perfected and revealed in our weakness. Miracles don't always look like fire from the sky. Sometimes they look like bread delivered by ravens. Sometimes they sound like a trickle of water from a hidden brook. And sometimes they feel like a gentle whisper that steadies a trembling heart in a dark cave.